Welcome everyone. Welcome to Run to Win, where we bring you inspiring stories, anecdotes, and experiences of amazing people who are into fitness and who can inspire others on fitness. And today I have with me a friend, a co-author, and a prolific personality, Avishai L. Avishai is an international best-selling author of the book The Power of Why, which we've co-authored together. But more than that, she is a completely holistic health coach, and she's also a certified raw food educator, a lifestyle expert, a blogger, and I'm a personal fan of a podcast, which is what it says it is. It's Avi Unfiltered. So it's a lot of fun. And of course, I'd like Avi to share more about what she does. She also has a very interesting program on nutrition, which is like a time program, which I can tell her to share with us. But it's got an interesting name called Eat Stress Away. So without wasting any more time, I'm going to invite Avi on here, and then we can hear more about her and her journey from her. Hi, Avi.
Hi, Vinny. I called you Navi.
That's okay.
Hi,
That happens quite often. But listen, thank you so much. Thank you for joining me on this podcast and for making the time and agreeing to come and share your story and your expertise with us.
Absolutely.
So, for our audience, Avi, just because it is a Run to Win podcast and it's fitness and everything to do with fitness generally starts with a nice warm up. Can you warm up our audience with a nice introduction on yourself, like what you do, where you live, and then we'll take it from there.
Absolutely. So as Vinny said, briefly, I'm a certified raw food educator and holistic health coach. So I help the open-minded, empathic, entrepreneurial, and professional woman gain their energy back, drop those pounds, get rid of their stress, and create the life they deserve through nutrition and lifestyle changes without sacrificing their food favorites and authenticity. And when I first started health coaching, it didn't start off like that at all. I actually, when I went to be a health coach, I was really sick, really sick. And like Vinny said, I co-authored the book, The Power of Why, and you'll hear my personal story of how I dealt with traumas. So I really wanted to become a health coach because 2 years prior to me even being a health coach, I changed over my diet somewhat and I started to feel more peaceful. And that's what I craved throughout my entire life, dealing with trauma after trauma after trauma. I craved peace. So at that time when I went to go be a health coach, I was severely ill. I had liver damage. I was diabetic. I was severely anemic. And I was actually told, don't go be a health coach. Take care of yourself. But I so badly, knowing me, I so badly wanted answers. I so badly wanted to help other people gain peace. So I went there, graduated, and I realized that I was certified for natural healing, everything from weight loss to helping people with mental health, to getting rid of their stress, to even terminally, helping terminally ill. So that's what I did. I just wanted to help people. So for the first couple years, I just traveled educating people. I helped cancer patients shrink their tumors. I helped babies get off of respirators. And then I noticed that I was attracting certain clients, and those clients were actually, the women that I help now. They were like me. They had experienced trauma. They wanted to get rid of their stress, drop the pounds, because I was also overweight at the time when I went to be a health coach, and they needed my help. So that's when I started helping them. That's when I came up with my program and I started health coaching.
I think that's brilliant. Even just to take all those challenges and then pack them into something that becomes a solution after you deal with them. I think you've gone even beyond the purpose of coping with those challenges, and that's lovely. I think when you're truly at peace, like you said, you kept getting peace. That's when you start wanting to share, and you want to also tell others that, hey, it's possible. So I love what you're doing, and I love the reasons why you're doing what you're doing.
Thank you.
Now that you say you're educating women and you're helping them, and these are some really solid challenges you're helping them with. I want to know, how easy is it for you? Let's learn more about you this time. So I want to know, how do you start your morning? Since you say raw food and it's holistic coaching, I want to know, how does your morning play out, right from the rituals to what you eat, and then how does your day pan out thereafter?
Absolutely. And I love that's such a yummy question. So so when I first get up, I don't get up out of the bed. I don't jump out. I don't jump out of the bed. I don't do that because I need to give my body, I just wake up. I want to let my whole body relax. Sometimes we wake up with certain blockages and certain digestive issues and things like that. So I let my body take a full rest. And what I'll do is I'll lay there, I'll listen to meditation music, and then I'll do some energy healing on myself, some Reiki healing,
Wow.
place my hands on myself. I do some energy healing, get rid of whatever blockages, whatever, anything that needs to be gotten rid of from yesterday or wherever, because we're asleep. So when we wake up, we don't know what's going on. Then I'll write down some positive affirmations. And then after that, I'll get up when my body's ready to get up. I don't do alarm clocks and anything like that because I believe we don't function on time. I function on my spirit, whatever my spirit says. So then I'll drink some water. I'll drink a green juice, and then I'll go for a run.
Wow. But
Yeah.
that is still a commitment. And wow. So, and how long is this whole thing that you said you do, this whole self-healing Reiki thing and releasing the blockages? Is it
Yeah.
like a long ritual, or is it something quick that you do? How does that pan out?
It's usually 1 to 2 hours.
Wow.
1
So
to 2
that
hours.
explains it. I must tell the audience that I was just telling Avishai, I don't know how she packs in so much in a day. And I'm glad I'm getting to ask her all these questions right now, because I think it's all of these things, because I was feeling so overwhelmed. And I must tell you, there have been times where we've actually had a chat. We've had a team meeting, and then I've seen her to go on and do one live with someone else on her blog, and then another one. And she's always so well put together. So Avi, that's really inspiring, and it's nice. So 1 to 2 hours you do this ritual, then you have raw juice. So you said of green vegetables, or what?
Yes.
Okay, lovely. And then
Yep.
go for a run.
I'll go for a run. I run every single day.
Wow. And how much? On an average that be?
That I run, I honestly just do it without thinking. It's literally become an extension of me. Like some days I'm like, I ran today. And I don't even think about it. It's the same as talking. So it's probably like 2 hours a day.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
Wow. Okay. Now this is all just finally coming together. That's where the energies are coming from. I think it's lovely. It's I so I you know what, I've become like this fake runner nowadays, because I haven't been regular all of last year. And funnily enough, I haven't missed running throughout the lockdown. And I don't know if I should even admit it, given that we are on Run to Win. But where I've
Well,
become
you've been running other things. You've been running other things.
This is true. This is true, though. Yeah. So it's still Run to Win, guys. We
Right.
haven't changed the mode, so that's a good thing. Okay. So tell me one thing. When you say that you follow this whole ritual, you let your spirit flow, and then it comes to almost 2 hours of running, and then of course packing in so much work. Uh, what are your drivers to be able to focus on that, like to be able to do this religiously in a focused way and be disciplined about it? What drives you to do that?
Well, in past years, my mental health was declining, back in 2011, some years back. And then another year when I was sick and I let my health, decline and put that on the back burner. And I was working. And other people had to tell me, you need to stop, you need to do stuff for yourself. So I recognize how important it is to put my spiritual health and my mental health and my emotional health first. so I could support my physical health and help others. So I recognize that that has to be the foundation. So I'm feeling grounded, I'm feeling at peace, and I can always maintain that throughout my days. Yeah.
Okay. And what do you ever feel the need to, since you are into health foods, do you ever feel the need to binge? So let's say you're being disciplined and you're fine and you're focusing on your health, but the foods that you crave for, and normally those are not officially good foods. So what keeps you from those cravings, or if you do get the cravings, how do you end up dealing with them? And I'm just going to tell the audience here that I'm going to try and bring out as many tips as possible from Avi with regard to foods and diet, because she is an inspiration. Her whole transformation, like Avi has said, she used to be obviously unfit before, and now you've come to this whole other side of 180, which is you've become so fit. So I'm sure all that you have to offer is all that we have to gain. So do share, what are your motivators then? One, do you get cravings? And then when you do get cravings, what do you crave for? And then what's your motivator to keep that in check?
Right. So I would have to say, before I did struggle with binge eating. I absolutely did. I would eat 8 slices of cheesecake. I would have like 2 to 3 meals in one meal, and it was supposed to be spaced out. Like I just ate throughout the day because I was going through, depression and food addiction, until I finally saw, like, listen, your blood sugar is now out of whack. You have liver damage, like you're not processing any of these foods. And then I think 2018, 2019, when I actually discovered I had suspected mast cell leukemia and my face, I went into anaphylactic shock and burned from the inside out, that I needed to do something. So what keeps me from binge eating, because what I first want to say is, a lot of people binge eat because they think food is food. And what I've come to realize is that it may look like a food, it may smell like a food, it may taste like a food, but not all foods are foods. And when I say that, I mean a lot of these junk foods, they have these oils, these emulsifiers, these preservatives, they're high in sugar, they're high in sodium and, natural flavoring, and all of these ingredients that people can't pronounce. And because they're marketed as food, people are being fooled, and bamboozled. And I was myself, whenever you're going through a tough time, you turn to that junk food because you feel like shit. Like, let's just be honest. When you feel like shit, you eat shit. And that's exactly what was happening to me. So what I've come to realize is that, so for me, it had to be consequential. I saw how it affected my health and I said, we need to make some changes. So now when I crave certain things, I crave what makes me feel mentally, emotionally, physically, and spiritually better. So for instance, if I used to crave sweets before, I recognized I was craving sweets before because I needed more fat in my diet, or I needed a certain nutrient. So now what I do is I crave the nutrients more so than the sweet of the food or the sugar, if that makes sense. Oh, I can't hear you.
I try to mute my site so then there's no other disturbance when you're talking.
Oh, oh, go ahead.
Yes. So no, so what I understand is it's more about conditioning the right dictionaries in your mind. So rather than defining the food, you need to define what kind of feeling you're missing, or what kind of nutrient you could be missing, and then replace the wrong foods with the right foods that can give you the same feeling or the same nutrient. Is that?
Absolutely. What people need to realize is that what you're craving is actually what you're missing in your diet. So a lot of us, a lot of people across the board, you love those chips. You love the chips with the oil. You love the fried foods. You love the greasy foods, the sweet foods, junk food, processed food, and what we're not realizing is that those are empty calories, and what's happening in your body is because you're consuming empty calories, the body's actually starving for nutrients. So you end up getting these overwhelming cravings. And because people don't know certain things about nutrition, they go for more junk because they're like, I'm still hungry, because they associate junk food as being food because there's not a nutritional education learning curve that needs to occur.
So, Avi, you also said that earlier you used to eat through the day, and I've heard that so much from so many nutritionists that it's a good thing to eat through the day. So, how many times do you eat in a day now, and is it really all planned and balanced, or you're just careful about the foods you eat?
So I usually eat twice a day, and that's actually a myth to eat throughout the day, because what's happening is you're not giving your digestive tract a rest and a chance to digest the food you just consumed. So I see people eating like 6 meals a day, and I'm like, you definitely didn't digest meals 1, 2, 3, 4, or 5. You know, you have to give your body a rest. So I eat based off of true hunger, which can actually be felt in the back of the throat where you start digesting, which is the esophagus. So once I start kind of feeling like, you know, not a pain in the throat, but an alert, I call it, in the back of my throat, that's how I know when I'm hungry. So I only eat when I'm really hungry. I don't eat when my stomach is growling or gassy. I don't eat when I feel shaky or hangry as fuck. I eat when I'm actually hungry. So
Yeah.
I eat intuitively.
Not,
Yeah.
I think a lot of us eat when we are bored, or we just, because you want to take a walk around and you go to the fridge or you go to the kitchen and again pile up
Yeah.
something more. Yes, I think those are the things one should watch out for. That's true.
Absolutely.
Tell us a little bit more about your holistic health coaching practice and about the Eat Stress Away program.
Absolutely. So I usually open up a couple slots to clients for my one-to-one coaching. Those are people who need one-on-one time, need more counseling, need to break through those traumas and unhealed things, why they eat certain foods, why they feel the way they do. You know, I help them completely transform their lives. And that's a 3-month program. It's still the Eat Stress Away program, but they just have their one-to-one time. Now, my full Eat Stress Away program came from the fact that not only are you eating your stress away through nutrition, but you're eating it away. I call it the 4 plates, you know, the mental, emotional, physical, and spiritual plates. You know, what's entering your mind? Who are you surrounding yourself with? What are you saying to yourself? We process words, people, the same way we do food, the same way we process airborne pathogens and viruses and things. You know, they seep in, you know, and it could really cause us to be stressed, or it cannot. So the whole program is designed to get rid of that stress from early childhood trauma, from adult trauma, whatever. Work life, family life, all of that. So it's a 3-month program where we discuss basic nutritional foundation. That's module 1. Module 2 is all about, you know, grocery store shopping and time management, you know, because that's a stressor. You know, if people don't have time management or they don't know how to grocery shop, you're going to grab the quickest junk food, you know, that can help you cope with stress, you know, and things like that. So the 3rd module is food addiction and self-love, you know, getting people to feel confident again. We go in depth. Then there's exercise. That's module 4. Module 5 is creation dreamer's life. And then 6 is live the life you love. So I give people workouts, recipes, counseling, group coaching, one-to-one coaching, everything. You have video trainings, lifetime access to the program once you sign up, and it's all online. So you can do it around your schedule. And it's very flexible. So that's the entire program, is to just help get rid of the stress, lose the weight, and create your life around your peace without stress.
I love that. And I love how you've maintained that focus. I think there's just one overarching theme is to create a life around your peace. And I love it.
Yes.
It sounds really great. So, okay, you told me that you discovered this whole thing and you went through this really difficult phase, and that's when you said you have to start building your peace and doing things. Ever since you took to this fitness journey and you have allowed yourself, or you have actually imbibed these really nice practices, in the course of this journey, have you ever had a rock bottom moment where you wanted to give up this amazingly proper and amazingly disciplined life?
Oh yeah.
Oh,
There have been times in the past, definitely. I detail it on my podcast actually. When I was being sexually harassed, I had to take the bus. I was being sexually harassed like every week, maybe every other day sometimes. And it really led to, I obviously defended myself, but it took a toll on my mental health. And I turned to food because I really felt like, how else was I going to get around? I didn't have a car, all this, stuff. So it really, food became my best friend. I went from, eating that watermelon, eating that good food to being like, what? I feel like shit. I feel like other people's property. I'm going to eat this. So that's kind of when everything went down, when I lost everything, became homeless, a lot of stuff. It really is when my diet just went to, you know.
And then what did you tell yourself? How did you just bounce out of it? Or was it a slow progression back to your health and fitness days? Or did you just have to like jump out of it?
Actually, I still kept doing fitness, but my nutrition was horrible.
Right. Okay.
Yeah, it was a gradual process to get out of that. Actually, what ended up happening is, like I said, I went into anaphylactic shock and almost lost my life. So I found out I couldn't eat junk because I was allergic to certain things. So that's what actually got me back on track.
Okay.
Yeah, it took
So it was a natural
that.
intervention. It was a natural intervention. Oh,
Yeah.
good. I'm happy for you. Now tell me what has been, I mean, there's just so much to you, Avi, and there's so much I'd want to digress and dive deeper into, but I think we're going to save that for another day when you and I chat, or when we have a podcast on something different. But what I'm really curious to know is what has been with this kind of a journey, what has been your highest point this far?
Oh, wow. My highest point in my own journey?
Yes.
What has been my highest point in my own journey? Oh my goodness. I don't even know. I think that's such a tough question, Vinny. I think I think definitely discovering a method that worked, for me to get back on track. I had to put myself through my own method to get myself back on track. I would say definitely staying free of food addiction and honestly honoring my body's natural needs for food and not going against it. That has been my highest moment, is to stay disciplined, eating whatever I like, whether that's pasta, pizza, cake. I can have it all, but making it healthier and not going against my body.
Okay, that's nice. And now I want to know your highest point, or your one big triumphant moment that you can think of with a client of yours. Any success story with a client which immediately comes to your mind.
Yes, my client that was going to the hospital in severe, severe pain for gallbladder. Oops. Oh, okay, there we go. Yeah, she was in severe pain for gallbladder disease, and the doctor didn't know how to help her at all. And I think he wanted to do surgery on her to take her gallbladder out. She reached out to me. I gave her a protocol with plant-based medicines, some essential oils, and her gallbladder has been fine ever since.
Wow, that sounds okay. Yeah, that's miraculous. Wow. So wait, plant-based. Are you also vegetarian, or do you have meat? Oh,
No, no animal flesh whatsoever. I just eat fruits, vegetables, beans, nuts, and seeds. And obviously, mushrooms and things like that.
that actually. So in India, we have this religion. I mean, it's of course it's practiced wherever, whoever practices it, Jainism. So I'm Jain, and for those who practice Jainism, the diet is very similar to this, where we don't even have root vegetables. So we'll end up having a lot of lentils, a lot of beans, sprouts. Everything that's which is actually real and good protein as well, legumes, but we don't have meat for sure. In fact, we don't even have eggs. So, but
Good.
I do have onions and potatoes. But if I had to be really strict, the way my community functions, well, a lot of my relatives, for example, and cousins, they don't even have onions and potatoes. But, I still remember when we were growing up, our relatives would tell us and our parents would say that you don't realize this, but this religion is literally parallel to science. There's a reason why we stick to vegetarian. There's a reason why you stick to legumes. And now after growing up, you start seeing these parallels, and it's so interesting that people those many centuries ago and millennia ago actually knew what was the right thing to do and what was right to eat.
Yeah, absolutely.
So now I'm going to take you through. I've understood your journey a bit, but now I'm going to take you through a quick rapid fire round where we'll get to know a little bit about you, but also we want your learning so that we can also use them and imbibe them. So are you ready for it?
I'm ready.
I'm going to ask you the first question, which I've been waiting to ask ever since you said yes for the interview.
Okay.
What's the one quick stamina boosting recipe or ingredient, a few ingredients that come to your mind, especially since you're a runner and a lot of our audiences are also runners? How do you give me one recipe or even a few ingredients that totally do it for you and will do it for us?
So I would say everybody loves a good chocolate smoothie. So you ready to write this down, everyone? you want to take, let me see, what do I use? Okay, you want to take like a cup, about a cup of, actually probably not for that, half a cup of raw unsalted cashews. You're also going to put 1 to 2 cups of romaine lettuce or whatever leafy green you love. About a quarter cup to a half a cup. I would stick with a quarter of a cup though. Cocoa powder. Then you want to do 2 to 4 medjool dates. Frozen, 1 cup of frozen blueberries, a tablespoon of hemp seeds, and you want to blend that up. I think I have all of the ingredients. Okay, yeah. You want to blend that up into a smoothie and have a delicious chocolate smoothie. You can also take some of those ingredients and make some energy balls as well, which includes a cup of cashews raw, unsalted, 2 medjool dates, 1 tablespoon of hemp seeds, and that's your energy ball.
Wow, that's lovely. So great. I asked for one and I got 2 versions of this, and I love it. I love it because I think the running season will soon start for us here in India as well. Hopefully when the lockdown starts to ease off and when we see better times with Corona. But we are always looking for ideas and tips to get those energy and stamina boosting foods. So this looks really useful. I have one question. If we didn't get hemp seeds easily here, what can we replace it with?
Sure, you can use chia seeds, flax seeds.
Okay, yeah. Nice, lovely. Okay, so now my next question is your top 3 fitness pointers, overall wellness.
My top 3 fitness pointers would be to start to do fitness when you're at your most energized. Because I used to try doing fitness, I think it was 10:30, and I was actually more energized at 7 a.m. So pick a time that you can stick to, to do that. In terms of another fitness tip is I usually work full body. I don't split up upper body or lower body. I usually do a full body workout where more of the focus is on upper body, but I'm always working full body. So that's my second tip. My third tip is, what would be a third tip? I would say always to incorporate planks. definitely, because that helps with your planks and squats. They both help with your balance and your endurance, not only in fitness, but in life as well. You know, you're challenging your mental. So those would be my tips.
Great. Uh, any one book or movie that is a must read or a must watch according to you?
Oh, wow. A book. There's so many. I would say The Alchemist. That's a must read. Um, Fahrenheit 451, especially with what's happening now with the censorship of books and things like that. It will definitely enlighten you about a lot of things. The third book, Eat to Live, or not Eat to Live, End of Dieting by Dr. Furman. Eat to Live as well by Dr. Furman. Those are like 4 books. What was the other part of the question?
Or a movie, yes. You can
Or a
tell
movie.
any one movie that is a must watch.
Oh God, there's so many, Vinny. What is a movie you must watch? The Matrix.
Okay.
The Matrix. 10th Kingdom. They show you things. Yeah.
I haven't seen 10th Kingdom, so okay, I know what I'm watching next. Avi, with so much that obviously you have achieved and you've endured, I'm sure you found your own journey, but there could have been some role models along the way. I think most of us need them, or at least some references. Who has been your role model and why?
My role model has been my mom. Actually, because of her, that's why I'm a health coach. She actually was watching a broadcast one day. My mom was over 360 pounds, and she was watching a broadcast, and this doctor, she never touched any healthy food. This doctor was talking about losing weight with food, not having to count calories, and so it appealed to her. And I think about a year and a half, she lost over 200 pounds. So naturally, and then went to school to become a health coach. This was a woman who would not even touch a honeydew melon, would get a cheese Danish over a honeydew melon, now wants to be a health coach. So she would come home and say, oh, I learned this, this, and this. And I found myself retaining all of the information and telling people about health. And I was like, wow, I didn't know I love nutrition. You know, I came from a music education background to becoming a health coach. So yeah, definitely my mom.
You just, you took away, you almost answered my next question, which would have been if not a health coach, then what? What would you have been?
Yeah, I definitely would have done music ed all the way.
Lovely. And since we are on Run to Win, what I want to know is who do you run away from?
Oh, I run away from, I love this question. I run away from people who pluck at my energy. You know, I've come across so many jealous people and people who I've been kind to, and they've been passive aggressive. People have posted things against me. Just people who are just not kind, people who are not upfront with me, people who do passive aggressive shit, people who are just negative. Like everything you do, they have a problem with. I run fast, I run far. Sometimes I have to cuss some people out, but you know, for the most part, I'm just like block. You know, you just gotta go. You're toxic. Those are the type of people I run away from. Anyone who's like doing the flip flop, I can't trust you, I'll run away from. Definitely.
Great. So before I ask you our last question, where can our listeners and our audience find you if they want to follow your work?
Yes, absolutely. So online on Instagram, it's Avishai, Avishaiel. There's no one else with that. On all social media, whether that's Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, LinkedIn, that's for all of it. You could also find, I'm doing a 6-week challenge right now. I'm not sure when this episode is going to air, but my 6-week challenge for 197, which is not bad at all, for 6 weeks. It starts August 3rd. So that you can find on www.eatstressaway.com/6-week-challenge. If you want to enroll in my program, my Eat Stress Away program, that's my 3-month program for $3,500 for 3 months. That's www.eatstressaway.com/enroll. And my regular website, www.avishail.com.
Lovely. So I'm sure we have many channels to reach you, and we are going to stalk you. The
Yes.
last question, Avi, if I had to tell you that there is one key message that you must give to our listeners and our audience, what is that one message over everything else that comes to your mind that you'd like to give them?
Yes, so I want all of you to be your most authentic self, no matter, as Vinny has discussed on my podcast, no matter how weird that may look like to anybody, because you have to be the person that goes to sleep at peace. You're not going to be at peace if you're trying to be someone else. You'll be emotionally drained, and that's not good for your mental, emotional, physical, and spiritual health. The next thing is to take up space. You are enough. Utilize your voice. People want to hear you. Nothing you have to say is stupid. The people who think you're stupid are the stupid people. So just do what you love and do it with passion and just go after it. Be kind, but take no shit.
Fantastic. Do what you love, do it and go after it, and don't forget to be kind. I loved it. I've always loved having a chat with you. Do try and check out Avi's podcast, and you'll find me there on, I think that's airing very soon as well. So,
yes,
I hope you've enjoyed our conversation. Avi, thank you so much for sharing your journey and all the lovely tips.
Thank you for having me. This was fun.
Absolutely.